Hello everyone, it's me again, GW Fan the Softcore Brony. Welcome you back to Let's Play Philly Fantasy 6. We do not want to find the floating continent just yet. We have other things to do. Mostly revolving around Rarity at the moment, and I'm actually going to go back into town, not because there's anything I actually need there, but because there's, well, a conversation we can have. Because now that Rainbow Falls has been attacked and everyone is, well, saddened and cursing the Empire and all that, well, all of a sudden, the heck are you doing here? Blue Blood? If you don't have Rarity in the party, he'll have, like, he'll have something slightly different to say from what he'll, well, say here, but it's literally just one line, so it's like, I'm not gonna bother showing that. I'm right in front of you, Blue Blind. Jeez. What are you doing here? Yeah, if Rarity's not in your party right here, then, well, it won't specifically say who says it, but someone in your party will basically say, she's on our side now, you're like a bag of hot air or something like that. And then he'll just continue on with this, well, not this, but a part in a moment. It's like, I am not talking to you. Why are you talking to me in the third person? As if I'm not here, whatever. Yeah, he'll say this line right here. Even if Rarity's not in the party, and as if he's talking to, you know, whoever's, well, in your party at the moment. Except I think he'll say, get her out of my mind. But he will say, your beauty, your poise! It's like, oh, for crying out loud. True. That was the old me. I love abusive relationships. Weirdo. Why are you talking to me as if I'm not here again? And Rarity will automatically walk in front of him for some reason. And yeah, there's Blue Blood. He's here for reasons that we'll find out quite a bit later in the game. But anyway, now that we actually have, well, access to the world again with the airship, we can finally go back to the Veld, among other things. Although there's not too much of interest, except for one ability. I have, well, I actually am not quite going to have this party right now. I've got Flash Sentry and Scootaloo in my party specifically. Sweetie Belle because I want to learn some spells. I'm also going to be pulling Cadence into the party instead of Rarity so that she can finish off a couple Espers, most notably Rasp and Osmos, and whatever else I can, because I am going to be going back to the Veld, due to the fact that if you want to get any more lures for Rarity, which I've already acquired White Winds from, well, the unnamed location a little to the west of us here. Unknown Cave, that is. You're basically gonna have to go to the Veld. Everything that you could learn right now is related to the Veld, except for a couple of abilities you can learn on the floating continent, but I'd rather get them beforehand, because they're useful before that, too. Because there is something we have to do before actually getting to the floating continent itself. So yeah, it's all related to the Veld and Scootaloo, because if Scootaloo uses abilities that Rarity can learn, then Rarity can learn them from her. So awesome! I have several of the abilities that I need, but there is still one more, which is Zombone, which in the original game had an ability called Condemned, which is not in the game anymore. The ability Condemned is not in the game, not the status, that's still around. But the Condemned ability has now been replaced entirely with a new ability that Rarity can learn, which I'm going to called Mudslide, which I'll be demonstrating soon enough, after I go to the Veld and get the Zombone, which you can find in packs 5 and 19 Although it's a little easier in 19 because there's actually 2 monster formations with Zombone as opposed to 1 in Pack 5. And you might end up getting the Ing as well, which is actually a pretty decent ability. You get Life Shaver out of that, too. So that can be useful. I've never really bothered using it, though. But, hey, it's there. So anyway, I'm going to go do that real quick and stay on the belt because there's still 2 more particular battles that I want to get into. Although before that, there is also one... Oh, yeah, for some reason the map turns off after that event back there. But, yeah, one other thing that I want to just point out real quick way over here regarding Rarity once more is here around Ponyville, or otherwise known as South Figaro in the original game. There's an enemy around here that, well, was called the Grease Monk. Now it's, I forget, it was like Mini Griffin or something like that. It used to be that if you confused this enemy, it would use an ability called Step Mine. But that enemy no longer has Step Mine anymore. Not that it's useful, like, right now, anyway. But as far as I'm aware, you cannot get Step Mine at this particular point in the game anymore. You'll have to wait till later. But more on that ability once I actually do get it quite a bit later in the game. But in the meantime, I think that's all I wanted to say about that, yes? Oh, right. We can get back into Ponyville now, but there's no reason to unless you miss the ribbon, I suppose. So I'm going to go to the belts and, well, collect Zombone and then set up the next battle that I want to get into on the belt. Where's the belt? There's the belt. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, I used Cadence off-screen, and I acquired, well, the last bit of the level 2 magic spell, elemental spells for her, as well as Rasp and Osmos, and at least started her learning, well, actually, no, she only needed Remedy. I started having her learn, I think, oh yeah, also I got Float for her, not that I really needed that, but I think I started her learning Death. Sort of. Not that I could really get it immediately, but in any case, Sweetie Belle also... Oh, yeah, I equipped all this stuff. Most notably Gale Band on Flash and Backguard on Rarity or Cadence for me back there. But I also finished off a lot of spells for Sweetie Belle while I was here. Cure the elemental spells, got Stop. Most notably, she's not quite got Rasp and Osmos yet, which is kind of important for her, but she will eventually. And also, I ended up acquiring both Ing and Zombone, which did kind of mess up where Scammer and Minotaur are on my list now on Aspect, annoyingly, because now they're on the other side of where I'm used to them being up to this point, but oh well. In any case, I am now in Pack 15, and I've already set up the next battle that I want, and I definitely want Flash in my party right now for these guys, the Trappers. Flash, confuse them now, because they have 3 abilities that Rarity can learn. Actually, one of which I can learn by just sketching, not that it's really going to matter, because they'll use it eventually anyway. Level 5 Death. This is an ability, basically any enemy that, then they go and use it. Well, I think that was actually the more rare ability to sketch out of them, but, whoa, don't do that, don't do that. But yeah, any enemy that has a level that is a multiple of level 5, is that the more, I thought the common one was level 3 Confusion, but I guess not. There it is anyway. But yeah, level 5 Death will basically cast Death on any enemy that has a level that is a multiple of 5. Wow, they're doing a lot. Which can be very useful throughout the game. Level 3 Confusion, I don't care. Any enemy is multiple level 3, they could use that, but whatever. Oh yeah, Scootaloo idolizes these guys. You can get level 3 model, but because Noise Blaster exists, I don't care. I wonder if I can get the rare one eventually. We have what? Oh, there it is. Last ability. Thank you for having enough MP for it. Level 4 Flare. This is a really useful ability. It casts the Flare spell on, well, any enemy that's a multiple level 4. And it does suffer from split damage if there is more than one enemy on screen, even if only one enemy can be affected. but it is really flipping strong because it ignores defense, or specifically magic defense. So it's a really good ability whenever it does affect enemies, which there are quite a number of enemies it can affect. I'm actually just kind of waiting for these guys to run out of MP, because I want to start Scootaloo idolizing now. Ow! And I'm going to start with the Dark Behemoth, because it has the ability Comet that Rarity can also learn. There we go. Wow, I'm kind of so excited that my voice is going crazy. Wow, that was strong. It's actually a pretty good ability there. It's a little stronger for Rarity right now, obviously. And let's see. Otherwise, I want to use... Well, actually, I'm going to start with Zombone, because that's the easier one to get. This is a brand new ability, Mudslide. Earth Elemental ability that is not affected by float. It can't actually hit floating enemies. This is probably going to kill them, though. Oh, it didn't. Good, good. Yeah, another ability Rarity can learn. Remember that she cannot be under a multitude of different status effects like blind or stop or what have you to use to learn anything when she's watching. And then otherwise, I want to use Chimera, because unique to this mod, Chimera has both well, Bubble Wave and an ability called Windstorm, which normally you wouldn't be able to get until quite a bit later in the game. I unfortunately got Bubble Wave first. I'll learn Windstorm in a moment. But yeah, Windstorm is more or less the most powerful wind elemental spell you can actually get, at least against single target enemies. The other wind elemental ability you can get is actually more effective against multiple targets, because it doesn't suffer some split damage like the Windstorm does. But I'll get that in a moment and learn all this good stuff. All right. Yeah, all these, they're not terribly expensive either for what they are. Mudslide, very good. It's actually pretty much the same power as Bubble Wave, honestly. I think it's actually a little stronger, but yeah, it's a little bit more effective than Bubble Wave, I think. And otherwise, is this still... Oh, wow, good. Finally fixed. Level 4, 8, 12. This used to say level, I think, 2, 4, 6. It's said that in, like, every version of the game I've ever seen. It's like, come on, you gotta... What's that? It was in the original game like that. So, yeah, level 3 Confusion or Muddle in the original game, I don't care. But these two spells, really, really useful. Not just in the near future, but for the long term of the game. And then Comet... Yeah, strikes a single target, ignores defense. I believe it can actually miss in more recent version updates in the mod, but I've never seen it miss personally. Not that I really use it all that much, but it is a pretty good ability. So, conveniently, in the very next pack that I'm going to, well, set up real quick, because I don't know necessarily if they're going to be right away, is the next couple of enemies that I want, which is both the Chaser enemy and the enemies called the Pipsqueak or Tiny Troop in this game. There they are! Oh, well, there's the Tiny Troop. I want to get the other battle, though, which has the Chaser in it, so I'm going to just, well, fly back and forth here. Yeah, load my save state, get into a battle that I'm going to run to from over here to, well, change what I fight in that particular pack real quick, and I'll just set that up real quick. Alrighty, I've set up the battle that I wanted, which also includes, which again includes the Tiny Troop, formerly known as the Pipsqueak, and the Chaser enemy, and I want to just confuse them all right away. As the Chaser has an ability that he, well, should use relatively soon. Right there, Discord, we can learn that. Cuts an enemy's level in half. Basically, it just affects their power. It's not terribly useful, although it is good for stealing from enemies later. You know what? I really should have, well, no, they should have decent defense, I suppose, but yeah, let's hit one of them with a physical attack, because these guys have the ability called Missile, which you should counterattack with usually, but not today. Yeah, typically they counterattack with that, but looks like it's not going to happen. Don't kill yourselves! Jerks. You're killing yourselves! Stop that! Darn it. I might have to do that over again, because I kind of want... Well, I don't really need the ability. Well, darn. How about we try that again real quick? Alright, this time I've unequipped Sweetie Belle. Although she's not terribly fast right now. Come on. I know you guys have that ability. I dare you to use it. There we go, Missile. Which I would like to point out has been severely nerfed from earlier versions, because there's a multitude of machine monsters that can use hits in the game that could just kill you in one shot with it, because it was just so stupidly powerful. But it's not really that useful for Rarity, because, darn you, use Discord now. You're just going to make it difficult, aren't you? But yeah, it's not very useful for Rarity because it's a physical attack, and she's not very good with physical attacks. There we go, Discord, and if I can just get Camaro to work right, then I can get all three of the abilities I want here. But yeah, Missile also ignores defense, but yeah, it's a physical attack, so it's not really that useful for Rarity. And I don't know if there's any, darn it, any monster that Scootaloo can learn it from. Don't kill yourself! I want my other ability. Fine. I'll just get it elsewhere. Learned Missile and Discord. Yeah, Missile I can actually learn literally in the next area also, but I figured I might as well learn it now, and now all I need is that last Windstorm ability, which I can at least show off, I suppose, but I'll get it in a moment. Yeah, Discord, this really is mostly only useful for stealing, because what you can, your steal rate is affected by an enemy's level versus the, well, character that's stealing, and Flash in this case. So it can make it a little easier to steal, which is useful in some rare stealing later on. So, yeah, let's just get Windstorm real quick after I save that, because I don't want to have to go through that again. There we go, Scootaloo. Thank you. Let's learn a good ability here. Yeah, very powerful move. I think it's a little stronger than... It's either a little stronger or just as strong as Mudslide there. So, yeah, normally you can't get that ability for Rarity at this point in the game. So I guess that kind of makes up for not getting Step Mine, which wasn't really all that useful. Unfortunately, this is also kind of the majority of the brand new abilities that Rarity can learn. There's, well, at least one other one, because I would like to point out, which I totally forgot while I was in the battle, with those Pipsqueaks, it used to be that if you used Sketch on them, they would use an ability called Roulette that Rarity/Strago could have learned, but no more in this mod. It's been replaced with another much better ability that in earlier versions of the mod you could have sketched from them, but no longer. So I'm going to have to get that elsewhere much later in the game as well. And I believe, yeah, that should be everything that I can learn for Rarity right now. There's only a few other things that I want to do, including going just up here to Sweet Apple Castle. Nothing happens if you bring Applejack here right now, which is kind of sad in a certain light, but there's not really much here, unfortunately. It's not really that big of a reward that it's been unlocked. Oh, that's not the right way. I do have to go inside first. Yeah, that this has been abandoned by the Empire and all that. I already got one of the only items I could really... Yeah, Zap Apple right there in that chest. Man, I'm like losing my voice now all of a sudden. And I already got the item that was in that pot there, which I think was a Zebra Potion, if I remember correctly. Is there any... Yeah, we can rest for free here, not that we really need to. And no, resting here with Applejack does not do anything at this particular point in the game. I don't think there were any other hidden items in here, were there? Yeah, cider mug there. Oh, there is a cupcake there. Okay, that's right. Forgot about that. Cider mug is the better of the two. Yeah, it's the better of the two MP, well, 3 MP healing items in the game. Yeah, Yeah, otherwise, nothing up that way, nothing where the sheriff used to be. And the only other thing here is... I mean, I guess they're decent items, it's just ones you never use because they're so freaking good. But otherwise, yeah, I get coffee, whoop-de-doo, in a true form pin, because Mario RPG logic or something, but didn't I already have one of these, I think? Yeah, I'm never gonna need that. I mean, it could be useful, I suppose, but I'm not really gonna need that. I have the... There's not that many enemies that use Petrify, honestly. So, and I have the white capes for the Dragonism, but otherwise that's all we can get here in Sweet Apple Castle. The only other thing I want to do is... Well, I thought I had more than one rune bit at this point, but I forgot in earlier versions of this mod, we could actually find a rune bit in the Crystal Manufactory, which has changed. I just forgot to change that in my notes. So I was expecting to have more rune bits by now, but I can get more in Naish, and there's also other items that I want. So I am going to buy 2 more rune bits off screen, and... Oh, no, this is the wrong continent. And also, I want to come here to Manhattan. Hey, Rarity takes Manhattan, which is now... Also, yeah, the floating continent is basically above all the towns here. Well, we have magic in this world. Why are you so surprised? Oh, wait, item shop. That is where I want to go, isn't it? No, it's in the weapons shop. That's right. Yeah, the other thing I want to do while I'm here, well, on the screen here, is that we have the Flame Edge, Water Edge, and Bolt Edge. I don't ever really find a reason for the water element in itself. There's not that many enemies that are really... I mean, there's, like, pretty much all machine enemies are weak to water, but they're also pretty much all weak to lightning, so it's not really pertinent to have a water element ever. Unless you're, like, using Debilitator. But I want to get, let's see, up to... Yeah, 15 Flame Edges, and I want to get about 20 or so... Yeah, 25 I think should do well. Bolt Edges for the Floating Continent, because they will be very useful there. Although, I would like to note that these... They seem to have been nerfed a bit, because they are a lot weaker than they were in the original game, and frankly, outside of the Floating Continent, they're pretty much useless after that point, so... At least I gotta use them now. But yeah, I'm going to go buy 2 rune bits off-screen, and we'll go take on the Floating Continent next time on Let's Play Philly Fantasy VI. Arrivederci!